5:30, Mayor Brett Smiley joins us for our monthly segment, Connect to Providence. Lots to catch up on, from National Guard troops deployed in U.S. cities to his city's schools. Mayor, good to see you.
Happy to be here.
Thank you very much. You were on CNN this morning, I saw. National news, talking about the federal takeover that's happening in D.C. I watched the interview. Obviously, you're opposed to what the president is doing.
Yeah, I'm not just opposed to the fact that troops have been deployed, which is something that I think we cannot allow to be normalized. This is not something that should be, this should be shocking, and it should be extraordinary when this happens. But I also oppose to it because it's not helping. National Guardsmen and women who are extraordinary professionals. I had a chance to work with them when I worked for the state. They're wonderful, but they're not trained in urban policing. They're not trained in community policing. They're not the solution to the challenge that we're facing. And the reality is the crime rates are coming down throughout this country, including here in Providence. If the president, federal government wants to give us help, they should fund the COPS program. Help us hire more police officers. I'd happily take that help. If they wanted to fund the violence intervention program that the Department of Justice used to provide, we would avail ourselves of that immediately. But National Guard's troop is not the answer. And I think America's mayors need to speak out. And I think our residents need to hear their mayors saying, not in my city.
Right. Now, reports today is that already 100 arrests have made with these National Guards. On the flip side of it, you know, his motorcade has to drive through D.C. You've been in D.C. Around the White House is nice, and then you go a little outside, and it's kind of a third world country. If the mayors can't do their job and the police chiefs can't do their job to clean it up, why shouldn't the president say, we're going to send in the troops?
Well, first of all, I reject your assessment of D.C. being a third world country outside of the White House.
I'm just saying the way it looks.
I've spent a lot of time in D.C. and I love that city. And, and there's a lot of people who call it home and are proud to do so. Second of all, if the federal government wants to help make D.C. or any other city safer, then they should invest in law enforcement in those communities. I'm not saying the federal government shouldn't help. I'm happy to receive that help, and I'm sure Mayor Bowser is as well, or any other mayor around the country. But there are mechanisms which are proven to work, which is help us hire more police officers, help us create more options for, I know one of the problems in D.C. are the unhoused, help them build more shelter beds or create more housing opportunities. Those are the solutions to the problem, not a bunch of National Guard troops for something that I can only assume is for show and is perhaps, you know, as many people have made the accusation, is a distraction from the various scandals surrounding this president.
What would you do if he had to come into Providence? Obviously, Providence's crime is down, but I mean, what can a mayor do? To, you know, say we don't want you, or?
Listen, I don't know what would happen. This is what's so extraordinary about it. The time in which the Guard is deployed in Providence or in any other city has always been at the request of local or state leaders. We are in uncharted territory, and like I said, we should not allow this to become normalized. This should be shocking to people and unacceptable to people. Any mayor, and I don't want troops in my city without my requesting them, and the governor shouldn't want them in Rhode Island without their request. And so I'm not sure what we would do. So I think the most important thing we can do right now is proactively say, no thank you. You want to make our city safer? Help us hire more police officers.
Let's talk about schools. It is almost back to school for Providence public school students. We talked to the education commissioner yesterday, and she was very much on the punishment or penalizing people who do not show up for school. Where are we in terms of teachers? Do we have enough teachers going into the school year, or are we still at a shortage?
Every school year, and this has got nothing to do with the takeover, every school year there are, in Providence at least, there are always some vacancies as we start the school year. I don't know how many vacancies there are at this point, but there's sure to be a couple gaps to fill. Teaching's a hard profession. It gets harder every year. And so I'm sure there are some vacancies that we have left to fill, but the schools will be ready to open in just a couple weeks now. I can't believe it. And we're working closely with the school department and the State Department of Education as I continue to advocate to return our schools back to local control.
And the one thing that has been reported is that maybe in 2026, the city will regain control of the schools. Is that what you're aiming for right now?
That's what we're working towards, is this upcoming summer. Obviously, a transition over the summer makes the most sense. It's the time where there's the least likely to have some sort sort of operational handoff issue. And so we're working towards next summer, and our new school board, the city council, the school department, the State Department of Education, and myself, we're all meeting regularly. We're all working towards that goal.
All right, let's talk about Providence Place. We've talked about that a couple of times, maybe 2 months ago. Where does it stand right now? I know you've been in talks with them regarding parking fees, garage fees, but in terms of stores and attracting people, it needs a little work.
You know, the mall is almost entirely full. There are very few vacancies, and so this mall, like every mall, needs to continue to look for new and interesting ways to bring people in. It was maybe 2 years ago now, there's a new entity there called Level 99, which is like a escape room, a barn. It's been a great success. Things like that are not just retail, as the shape and face of retail has changed as all of us shop more online, are what we need to infuse into the mall so that it's not just a retail destination. But the mall's doing pretty well. The stories of the mall being in free fall is just not true. The mall is full, there are people there, there's almost no vacancies, it's safe, the parking has been vastly improved, and the receiver is getting ready to put it up for sale, which was always the next step. And so we're optimistic that there'll be another professional mall operator who steps in, who becomes a long-term owner, that makes the investments necessary.
You know?
We don't know. It hasn't actually gone out to market yet. They're planning to do that in September. But the receiver has done their job. They have made some improvements. They have, you know, it's just like getting your house ready to sell. Like kind of polish it up, fix the things that you knew were broken before the next buyer comes in, and it is ready to go out to the market in September.
All right, Mayor, they're stopping me there because of time, but always appreciate your time.
Great.
We certainly like seeing you.